there are many possible gratitude practices. So one of them that we are aware of now has come from one of our members, Steve Kemp. And Steve has suggested, and when he emailed this to me, I was like, yes, this is so exciting, that one of the most effective ways to shift energy is to practice gratitude. And we're all energetic, right? I mean, we're talking about the electric grid. Well, there's a spiritual energetic grid as well that we're a part of if we're plugged into it. So one of the and right now on planet Earth, you've probably noticed a little bit of turmoil and disturbance. Well, what can we do to rectify that? We can raise our own vibrational level. And one of the easiest ways to do that is through gratitude. Well, a few weeks ago, I introduced this idea of Steve's, and we looked at a little videotape of the Maharishi Effect. And there are studies that show when people do a spiritual practice together at the same time, it can actually influence the external world in wonderful ways. There are studies of transcendental meditation where TM people together went to and were in specific geographic places. I think there was it Philadelphia? I can't remember which cities now. And they, on purpose, meditated there together, and guess what? They reduced crime significantly by that collective effort. So it's called the Maharishi Effect, and it's been documented over time. So when human beings plug in to the spiritual grid together at the same time, whoosh, it's transformative. So what Steve Kemp suggested is that we all do this. And at 7 a.m. and at 7 p.m. It was 8 a.m. and 8 p.m., but we just did the time change. So now, as of today, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., pause. Whatever you're doing, just pause and open your heart in gratitude. And know that many other people around the planet at this very same time are doing the same thing. So that's another practice we can add to the list, besides the journal, besides saying grace, besides being grateful to the people around you. So, and I added a twist to Steve Kemp's suggestion of the 7 a.m., 7 p.m. gratitude pause time collectively around the planet. And by the way, Steve is getting emails for his work. He interacts with people all around the world, and he's getting emails. People all around the world are doing this. So you can join in on that energetic shift that is happening. So what I've discovered from some of my reading and research, I'm a psychologist as well as a minister, that when we practice gratitude and we direct it to a particular situation or place, it's even more powerful. So one can sit in gratitude in oneself, which is wonderful to do. It's a way of plugging in. Absolutely do that. So do that, yes. And if you want, here's another thing, direct it somewhere special. And it amps the power, and there's research on this. There's more and more research. It amps the power of this practice. And I suggested that we try directing it toward the prison in Springfield, Vermont. Springfield, Vermont has one of the, is it 4? I forget how, there are not many prisons in Vermont, but Springfield has one of them. It is probably one of the places of greatest suffering in the whole state right now. I know you're tuning in from other states. The prisons in your states and places are probably some of the places of the greatest pain. It was hard before the virus, and now it's really hard. So I invited people to, some weeks ago, to try Steve Kemp's exercise of pausing at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. to feel gratitude and directing it toward the prison and actually orienting yourself to the prison. I'm facing slightly southeast right now. So that's where Springfield is from where I am. That's so pausing each day, feeling grateful and sending love to the prison in Springfield. So I invited folks to consider this. And Sharon is going to share with us. She's in a Friends on the Path group. We have a number of Friends on the Path group, which are an opportunity for friendship and spiritual growth. Join one if you want. There's seats, more seats at the table. So Sharon's group took this on. So go for it, Sharon. Share with us what your group did.
So, Mellen comes up with session sheets of quotes and inspirational sayings on various topics. So we have a few, I think 3 Friends on the Path groups, and I facilitate one. And so at our last gathering, or maybe it was 2 sessions ago, we talked about this Maharishi Effect and the gratitude practice. And we brainstormed what it would be like to send good energy to the prison. And we came up with a number of wonderful visual images. One was thinking of water flowing by the prison, and not far from it is the Black River. Just down the hill and across the road is the Black River. So thinking of connecting to the flow of water. Another great image was flowers. You know how flowers are just so uplifting. And we had all these images of large armfuls of flowers showing up at the prison door, and murals painted inside and out of flowers. And we just had, rainbows outside. And so I have kept that practice. I set it on my phone for 8:00 a.m. p.m. and I just switched it to 7, and I orient towards the prison and I just send whatever images, and I'm using a lot of flower images. And lately I am thinking of a river of love and energy actually flowing right through the prison, and being inspired by the Day of the Dead. Lots of marigold flowers just floating through, and everybody in the prison, those who are paid to be there and those who are incarcerated, just being so filled with the beauty of the flowers flowing through their life. And it makes me feel really good. It doesn't have to take long. Depending on what's happening in my life, I might just do 30 seconds, or I might take a little bit of time and really get into it. But it's been very, very meaningful for me. And I just want to say that there are so many ways that our community has helped uplift. And I feel so uplifted. And when I run into other people who are struggling emotionally or in other ways, it reflects back to me how blessed I am to be part of this community. And I want to welcome those people in so that they can be fed this really great, uplifting message that we have of hope and gratitude. Anyway, here's a plug for our Friends on the Path groups. They're really nice and really helpful. So that's my bit.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you so much. And one of the things that I want you to take from this is do what you can. You know, there's some days Sharon spends 30 seconds and other days, who knows, 30 minutes. It doesn't matter. Do something. And George, when you and I spoke yesterday, you were and you mentioned it today that you don't necessarily do the journal every day, and that's okay. I mean, if you want to do the journal every day, go for it. But if you do it when you remember, do it when you can. And if you forget, let it go. Don't judge yourself. Don't be harsh. Oh, I didn't do my gratitude journal. That'll make you feel bad, right? That defeats the purpose. So find a practice that's right for you and do it. Do it as best you can, as regularly as you can. So I want to invite us to a time of meditation and prayer. And to lead into this meditation and prayer, Julaine and the virtual choir have prepared a beautiful, beautiful piece for us. It's actually Hindi, and which is quite fitting because this it was just Diwali, which is one of the great the celebration of light in India in the Hindi tradition. And the words are really simple. I'm just going to go over them because I want to invite you to sing them. Dhanyavad Ananda are the words, just two words. Dhanyavad Ananda. And it means gratitude, bliss. Isn't that great? Dhanyavad. So you can repeat after me. It's 3 syllables. Dan, ya, vad. Dhanyavad. Dhanyavad. That means gratitude. Ananda. 3 syllables again. Ananda. Ananda. Dhanyavad. Ananda. Dhanyavad. Ananda. That's it. Gratitude, bliss. Because when you open your heart in gratitude, it puts you into a state of bliss. So let's sing along to the chant that Julaine and the choir has presented for us, and then we'll just have a time of silent meditation, because meditation and prayer is essential. It's essential that if you have the habit, so hang on, Julaine, I'm going to say one more thing before we go into the chant. If you have the habit of noticing, oh, well, that sucks, and you know, that's terrible, and you turn on the news, and this candidate, and that, and it's a habit of focusing on the negative, which will only make you feel worse. There's lots of research that shows that now. So to switch from a habit of looking at the negative to a habit of looking at the positive, to appreciating, to being grateful, you got to get in the driver's seat of your own life. You got to be able, like the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu said, it's an inside job. Your happiness is not dependent on the externals. Your happiness is dependent on your ability to put your focus on where you want it. And the way we do that is the practice of meditation. It's really hard at first because your mind wants to wander around to this and that and there. But when you, over time, it's like a muscle. Over time, you just keep bringing your mind back, bringing your mind back, bringing your mind back. You develop the muscle of attention. And then you can practice gratitude. Then you can, when things are unpleasant in the external world, you can say, okay, I see that, and I'm going to acknowledge it and focus on something beautiful, something good. I see the negativity, and I'm going to say something kind and nice to the person in front of me and express appreciation for them, even though this crummy stuff is happening. So to develop your muscle of attention so that you can practice gratitude and you can know that bliss, you can know all the 28 benefits from those psychological researches, but you got to be able to do it. You got to develop your muscle of attention. So let's sing together Dhanyavad Ananda. Remember those words again. Dhanyavad, Dhanyavad, which means gratitude. Ananda, which means bliss. So let's sing that together. Then we'll just go into a time of meditation where we can practice. Let's go. Thank you so much to the virtual choir and Jelaine for preparing that for us. So now let us enter a time of meditation and prayer. So think of one thing that you're really grateful for and put that thing in your mind. And just breathe as you think of that one thing you're grateful for. And if your mind wanders off, just gently bring it back to your breath and to your thought of the one thing you are grateful for. And if your mind wanders to other things you're grateful for, cool. Enjoy that too. Stay in gratitude. Stay in an open heart. Thank you so much for sharing that time of meditation and gratitude and prayer. So join me now in this prayer. Source of all, thank you so much for the gift of this autumn day. Source known by many names, many names. Thank you for the gift of this Springfield Meeting House community. Thank you for this opportunity outside of the busyness of our lives where we can come together for this hour and remind each other of what really matters, where we can help each other come home to our heart, come home to ease and joy and gratitude and beauty. Great Source, you know indeed there is turmoil on our planet. Thank you so much for these reminders that we are not powerless in the face of these turmoils. Thank you so much for so many people, including the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela and so many others who have gone before us, lived in really hard times, and found a way to keep plugging into joy. Thank you for their examples and all the spiritual traditions that have great, great men and women, leaders and teachers and sages. Thank you, Great Source. Thank you for reminding us that we can plug in. We can know joy and peace regardless of the externals. And thank you so much for the reminder of the power of the instant plug-in of gratitude. Help us as we go through our days. There's so much pulling our attention to the negative. Help us develop our muscle of attention so that we can contribute to the well-being of our planet by how we interact, how we breathe, how we live. May we live in a spirit of thanks living. Thanks living. be with us in this week and the weeks ahead. Help us as we strengthen our muscle of attention so that we can know all the 28 benefits from all those psychological researches, so that we can know well-being and joy, so that we can be the instruments of love and light on this planet that so needs each of us to plug in and light up and help heal our beautiful and bruised world. May it be so, Great Source. Blessed be. Amen. Dhanyavad Ananda. I want to say a special thank you to the choir. It has not been easy to figure out how to do music beautifully in Zoom. But Julaine and the whole team has done it. So, Julaine, can you show the slide? Here we go. Here's the current fall members of the virtual choir. These are the people behind the voices that you heard in Dhanyavad Ananda, that you heard in For the Beauty of the Earth, that you heard in How Can I Keep From Singing. And to each of you, I'd want to say an overwhelming thank you. Thank you. And anybody want to unmute and just shout out a thank you to our choir? Please feel free to do so. Thank you so much, choir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I love
Thank
that.
Thank you.
Woohoo!
I want to
Yes.
thank Steve and Laurel also. They were both singing on Dhanyavad Ananda. That we don't have them in our photograph here, but they sing with the choir when they have time, and you could definitely hear them on that song. So thank you to Steve and
That's
Laurel.
what that Mel voice was. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so thank you to all of you who, gratitude is one really fast track to joy, to God, to the source, to the infinite, whatever you want to call it. Music is another one. Music is the fast track. So we are so grateful that through the dedication and creativity and determination of Julaine and the choir folks, it's a complicated process of layering over the voices and laying the tracks. And if you want to sing along, let Julaine know. There's more seats at the table. We've got some fabulous music coming up this fall, related especially to Howard Thurman for the Christmas service, the holiday services. So we welcome more voices, more seats at the table of our choir. So thank you, deep thank you to all of you for doing that. So Sharon, how about if you and I do the bell and the extinguishing of the chalice, so to end our service formally. Are you unmuted, Sharon? I can't see. Go for it.
I'm here.
Okay, let's hear the bell then. Thank you. So hear these closing words, the same that I used for our opening, from Nelson Mandela. Let your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears. Choose joy. Choose gratitude. Choose love. If you have found community here, treasure it. If you have found challenge here, I hope you have, go and sit quietly with whatever is stirring in your heart. And if you have found hope here, bring it out to our beautiful and bruised world that needs you plugged in, you radiating love, gratitude, and joy. May it be so, blessed be.